Hey guys, how are you? Hopefully you're good. I just wanted to make a very quick video based on the stock market action in the last 24 hours. We'll cover off Bitcoin, we'll cover Reddit, we'll cover Salesforce, and we'll cover Snowflake. So let's get started straight away. Bitcoin price action, this is live action on the BTC. Look, I made a video yesterday on Bitcoin and I said on the daily chart, what I'm seeing is this dome structure, which is essentially until proven otherwise. And what I mean by that is until it breaks out of this dome, the structure here, which is something like this, until it breaks out, forms a bit of a higher low, tightens and breaks out up. I'm not bullish Bitcoin. I feel like this dome is possibly going to act as resistance to, possibly take it in this direction, in acting as resistance down. So yeah, that's just, it's one of those things which is on the watch list, but it's not where I'm keen to open any new positions until there is proof that it changes character, and that would be to break out its dome. And the other thing would be to reclaim these moving averages, which the green line that you see here is the 8 EMA. So it's kind of trending down, and you can see that off late it's starting to act as resistance. You can see here, big reversal, but again, the 8 EMA green line acting as resistance, and then again in the new day start it's acting as resistance. So until it starts to act as support and there's tightening action and then breaking out of the dome, this is just an watch and observe until proven otherwise. There's nothing more to add for me on Bitcoin at this stage, guys. The other stock that I'm watching very keenly is Snowflake. So this is the software theme. Just taking you back a little bit, had massive earnings from Snowflake's where, ramped up or gapped up. Started to form a bit of a flag structure since then, and then you can see it's starting to work its way in this channel here that I see. It had a very good reversal today, so it gapped down and then it reversed during the course of the day to actually close that gap, which is typically considered bullish when gaps are that open up on the day, because it closed here at 181 on a Friday and then opened at 176 on a Monday, and then essentially went right up. So it closed that gap and it had a very bullish reversal candle during the day. So quite a bullish thing. It's also reclaimed its 8 EMA, which it had lost in the morning on the Monday morning. What I'm looking for now is, essentially you can see it's sold off here. It would be good to get a little bit of a pullback, possibly to 8 EMA, or a little bit of tight price action here until it really breaks out. So the tight price action, of candlestick formations allows it to be a bit more of a sustainable trend. If it starts to gap up too quickly, the likelihood of it pulling back within a day or two is also quite high. So that's why the action I'm doing from my point of view right now is more trying to assess its price action on day-to-day basis and just observing, not opening a new position in it. But if it holds up well versus its 8 EMA, this is something that I'm going to consider looking into, because software is a hot space right now. You can also see its ETF, which is IGV, is pretty hot relative to the S&P QQQ and the CHIPS SMH index. The other thing I wanted to quickly cover off was Salesforce, a similar theme, software. So just going back a little bit to put context, Salesforce had this massive cup. You can see formation here. Broke out of it and then retested it a few times and broke out up again, and then it's recently retested this previous all-time high from March 2024, and it kind of gapped up. So you can see this level here has been acting as support, this 316 level, and then since then it's gapped up again here, and then it's had a pullback but a low volume, and that's the key thing. So maybe it's price action like that, you know, that I'm again, it's possible, because you can see the pullback here was on very low volume, so the volume's not substantial enough. So if it does start to reclaim and show character, and this is where, you know, you're asking the stock to essentially show its character, to go back and pick up the trend or the channel that it was respecting. So you can see this is the channel I feel it was respecting. If it starts to get back here, then it's one, you know, and if it starts to get back above the 8 EMA, which is the green line, and starts to tighten up to then explode up, it's another hot name that I am keeping a very close eye on. And lastly, look, the hottest name of all right now, Reddit. This is a name, again, a little bit of context of where we've been. We've been on an epic run. You can see the gap up on earnings, pullback, gap up, pullback, gap up, pullback, gap up. It's pretty epic run. And then, you know, it consolidated for about 6 to 8 weeks. You can see the consolidation here pretty clearly, where essentially the moving averages, you know, catching up. You can see the purple line here, the 50 MA was starting to catch up because the gap between the 50 MA and the price action was a bit too far. And then eventually, you know, formed a nice higher low and then broke out beautifully. And now it's essentially around this 80 MA. So again, what I would probably want to see is a little bit of a pullback to 80 MA, tight price action to then explode up towards its earnings, which is 12th of Feb. So yeah, nice earnings lead up expected, but again, tight price action, you know, with less volatility. And when I say tight price action, guys, it's one where there's less volatility of, you know, upside moves of +5 and downside moves of -5 on the same day or possibly the next day. You're trying to get a little bit more consistent price action, which then allows the trend to be a little bit more sustainable. And I'll give you an example of it, how it used to play out historically, right? So this is Reddit price action, you know, from some time back in September last year. You can see comes out to this level here, starts to form a bit of a W pattern, you can see here, and then it starts to, you know, just consolidate here. You can see this is tight price action, and when I mean tight, I'm just going to draw a line. You can see it has across like 23rd to 16th, so across 21 days roughly, or 3 weeks roughly, not even 21 days because you can remove the Saturdays and Sundays. It's had a volatility of 7% up and down, and the ATR for the stock on a daily basis is 6.3. So for an ATR of 6.3, you know, it's been going and just consolidating on a 7% up and down every other day, until it starts to form tight enough price action that it forms this low. And then you can see the run it's having, you know, up, gap up, then it starts to again form some tight price action. You can see here, you can see it's probably even tighter here, so it's about 5%, and then it, you know, again gaps up, then it forms tight price action, gaps up, tight price action, and then it, I mean, that was a massive gap up essentially. So look, that's what I'm looking for, you know, like a little bit of like tighter price action here to then set up the next move up. And that's pretty much, you know, the key stocks that I'm looking on right now. What I would suggest overall is observing and building watch lists of products, stocks that actually show strength in this environment is one key task that we should all do right now, so that when the trend shifts and we have a pretty, you know, good, less volatility environment, you know exactly when to get in on what stocks. Hope you enjoyed the videos, guys. Please keep the conversation going on the comments. If you like the content, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe so that you're aware of all my updates in the stock market. Have a great evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.